السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. أما بعد, last lesson we began the topic of mud. Okay, and who can remember what does mud mean? Mud ka matlab? Not to make long. Lamba karna, khinchna. Mad ka matlab, mad means to make long. And हमने भी ये देखा कि मद के कितने किस्में हैं? Two types. Mad has maddul asli. Good. Last lesson हमने maddul asli देखा. We were looking at maddul asli last lesson. Okay, we were looking at maddul asli last lesson, or you can even call it maddul tabi'i. Okay, and maddul asli, which kind of mad was this? Can anyone remember? Maddul asli, कौन सा मद ये था? जब फतहा के बाद क्या हो? अलिफ. जब फतहा के बाद अलिफ हो. When there's a alif after a fatha, this is maddul asli. When there's a ya after kasra, this is maddul asli. And when there's a waw after dhamma, this is maddul asli. And how long will these mad be? How long? Kitne alif? One alif long, or you can call it two counts. Okay, one alif long, or you can call it two counts. Okay, misal, a very easy example. Nuhiha. हमने देखा इस एक लफ्ज में, in this one word we have all three examples. Nu, noon par dhamma ho. The noon has a dhamma and there's a waw after it. Nu, he, ha has a kasra, there's a ya after it. He, ha has a fatha, there's a alif after it. So in this one word we have all three mad. All three examples of maddul asli. Nuhiha. Okay, read it with me. Ek saath. Nuhiha. Again, one more time. Nuhiha. And these were all examples of which mad? Maddul asli. And how many counts? How many counts long? Two counts. Okay, two counts long. So for example, like this. So he, ha. It can't be nuhiha. No. Nuhiha, not one count, two counts. Nuhiha. And it can't be three or four counts. Too long. It can't be too long. He, ha. This is too long. If you make it too long, this is wrong. If you make it too short, wrong. It needs to be in the middle, only two counts. Okay, so nuhiha. And this was this was maddul asli, and this is what we covered last lesson. And then we left off with one question. Can you remember the question that we asked right at the end? What if there's a sukoon or a shadda or a hamza after the mad? Then what will happen? Kya hoga? This is what we are going to cover in lesson 12. And this all falls into the second type of mad. First was maddul asli, and this one is called maddul far'i. Maddul far'i. Okay, maddul far'i. And fara from the word branch. Fara ka matlab hai branch. Why? Because there's so many branches in this mad, so many types. Kitne qisme hai in this one maddul far'i. Okay, maddul asli bahut आसान. Maddul asli very simple. फतहा के बाद अलिफ हो, कसरा के बाद या हो, और दम्मा के बाद वाव हो. Very simple. Nuhiha. One alif long, two counts long. Okay, two counts long. Now in maddul far'i we're going to look at each type one by one, insha'Allah. Okay, and the first type of maddul far'i is known as al-muttasil. What is it known as? muttasil. And does anyone know what muttasil means in English? Muttasil का मतलब है यानी लगना, together, joined. Muttasil का मतलब है together, joined. You'll understand why. आप समझेंगे उसको क्यों मुत्तसिल कहा जाता है. Now look at this muttasil, okay? So if you look in your pages, and also it's on the board in more detail, after a letter of mad, after huruful mad, give me one example of huruful mad. एक मिसाल दे दो huruful mad का. या जी अलिफ, अलिफ यानी अलिफ और फतह उससे पहले. तो आ is example, u is another example, e. For आसान, आसान के लिए we'll call this a, u, e. These are the three letters of mad. ये मद के तीन हुरूफ है, आ, ई, ऊ. ठीक है? This is letter of mad. So in the word, in the Quran, after the letter of mad, if a hamza comes, if a hamza appears in the same word, in the same word, do you understand now why it is called muttasil? Because the letter of mad and the hamza are joined, are connected in the same word. So if this happens, agar ye ho jaye, then what will we do? How will we read it? We read it meaning join. The meaning of join is only when it comes in the same word. But the thing is, long, you make it even longer. Maddul asli was only 2 counts long. Maddul, this is 4 counts long. This one is double, 4 counts long. Okay, and we're going to look at, and you can see some of the examples. In the first example, pehli misal mein you can see first, let's go through the examples. Sheen hai, there's a sheen with a fatha, and alif is after it. So just looking at this, agar hum hamza ko ignore kare, if we ignore the hamza and we just read the sheen alif fatha, how will we read it? नहीं, hamza को ignore कर दे, ignore the hamza, it will just be yasha, yasha, नहीं, sirf yasha, it will be 2 counts long. If we ignore the hamza, imagine the hamza was not there, it will be 2 counts long. Yasha, maddul asli ki tarah, जैसा maddul asli thi, okay, it will be 2 counts long. Yasha, but because of the hamza, hamza ki wajah se, because of the hamza, it becomes 4 counts long. So we're not just going to say yasha, we're going to say yasha, and then right at the end we're going to say the hamza. The hamza, sorry, has a dhamma. So again, ek saath, yasha, okay, remember 4 counts long. So one more time, yasha, one more time, yasha, one more time, yasha, and remember, ये क्यों लंबा हो जाता है, क्यों? Because of what? Because of why is this long? नहीं, ये नहीं, because of which letter? Because of the hamza. We need to remember this. Hamza की वजह से, hamza is one thing. अगर ये, if this was to be, for example, if this was not hamza, if this was ba, अगर ये हमजा ना होता और बा होता, it will only be 2 counts. Yashabu, yashabu. But because of the hamza, when hamza comes after, remember this, very important. When hamza comes after letter of mad, then it makes the letter of mad more longer. In muttasil, when it comes in one word, in the same word, which is muttasil, it becomes 4 counts long. So yasha'u, okay? Yes, very simple. This was an example of alif mad. Okay, we're going to call it alif mad. If you look at the next example, we have example again, alif mad. Good, yes, remember only 4 counts long, so very good, mashallah. One more time, al-qailina. Remember, don't make it too long. One more time. If you need to count on your fingers, because this is a very good way of tracking yourself. So, al-qailina. We don't want to do al-qa. That's too long. Only 4 counts. One more time. al-qailina. And this again same. यहाँ कौन सा मद था आगा साहब? नहीं कौन सा मद in this word al-qailina कौन सा मद आया? अलिफ मद, वाव मद या या मद? नहीं, not this one, the word before, the word that we just read, जो लफ्ज हमने अभी पढ़ा al-qailina, इस लफ्ज में कौन सा मद आया? अलिफ मद है ना? अलिफ मद अलिफ मद है ना? तो अलिफ मद के बाद क्या आ गया? हमजा. तो यह मुत्तसिल, यह 4 काउंट होगा. It's going to be 4 counts. तो हमजा. But one thing I want to show you, यहाँ in this word आखिर में भी क्या है? लीना. क्या है? लीना. तो यह कौन सा मद है? लीना. Which mad is this? You don't know?
This is
yes. Simple. Maddul asli. Lina, 2 counts. Okay. Lina, lam ya kasra li. And उसके बाद क्या है? नून. हमजा तो नहीं है ना? हमजा नहीं है. नून है. So if it's anything other than hamza, for now, understand this. Anything other than hamza is asli. ठीक है? So Lina, 2 counts, yeah, Maddul Asli. But Qa is what? Maddul Far'i. और Maddul Far'i को कौन सा किस्म? कौन सा किस्म? Muttasil. Very simple. Next one, Agha Sahab, you tell me which mad, कौन सा mad, कौन सा harf mad है उसमें? Alif mad. जब मैं ये पूछता, when I ask which mad, tell me, is it alif mad, waw mad or ya mad? So in this Agha Sahab, which mad is it? वाव मद है ना? वाव मद. तो वाव मद है ना? वाव मद. ओके. एंड उसके बाद क्या है? हमजा. तो exactly 4 counts. So how are you going to read it? Min su in. Good. Min su in. Simple, very simple. But remember, everything जो we've learned before, जो चीज़ हमने याद किया पहले, we need to remember this as well. Very important. Why do I say this? Let's look at this word a bit more careful. What's the first word, Uncle Khubab? The first word. No. In min su in, the first word.
First word is
min. Min. कौन सा हर्फ है आखिर में? नून. क्या? नून साकिन. तो we need to see, हम ये हम गुन्ना के साथ पढ़ेंगे या गुन्ना के बगैर पढ़ना है. We always need to look out for noon sakin as well. Noon sakin we always need to look out for. So if we see noon sakin, so we need to ask ourselves, are we going to read with gunna or are we going to read without gunna? How do we know this? How do we find this out? What do we look at? When meaning, do we look at the letter before? Do we look at the letter after?
No, before.
Before nahi. We don't look at the meme. We're going to look at the letter after. तो नून साकिन के बाद कौन सा हर्फ है?
Oh yes, Hamza. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, it will be min su in.
So su in is, yeah, ठीक है. This is okay. But we need to see this. Noon sakin. Yeah, याद रखना है. Very important. Always. We can't forget this. Noon sakin. Whenever noon sakin comes, we always need to look at the next letter. Always very important. We look at the next letter. So next letter क्या है? क्या है? Sin. Very simple. Sin. Sin. क्या ये हलक के हुरूफ है? No. यरमलून है? No. बा है? No. तो हलक के हुरूफ इजहार गया. यरमलून के हुरूफ इदगाम गया. बा का हर्फ इक़लाब गया. तो which one is left? इख्फा. इख्फा. And ikhfa, what you need to do? Poshida karna. You need to hide the noon. So if you say min su in, this is wrong. And you say min, can you remember how we hide the noon? We did this 2 lessons back. हमने 2 lesson पहले हमने यह किया. Min su in, what you need to do, you hide the noon and you go straight to the scene. So min su in. Do you understand? So we need to remember this ghunna as well. So everyone ek saath, let's read it together. Min su in. So now we're not just looking at a muttasil mad anymore. We also need to remember everything we've done before. So this is when everything comes together. So dubara one more time. Min su in. The thing that you need to remember, very important, is that whenever you see noon sakin, jab har martaba aap noon sakin ko dekhen Quran mein, so you need to stop and think. You always need to stop and think, ya kaun sa qaida yahan chalega. ठीक है? You need to remember this, very important, that whenever you see noon sakin, which rule am I going to apply? Do you understand? Here, and the way to go through it, go through halaq ke huruf, nahi. Yarmalun ke huruf, nahi. Ba ka harf, nahi. So it's going to be ikhfa. ठीक है? तो ikhfa always with ghunna. Do you understand? Let's look at the next one. Uncle Khuwaib, you try it inshallah. We have yaha in this word, which mad is it? कौन सा मद? Alif mad, waw mad या ya mad? Waw mad, very simple. And hamza uske baad, how are we going to stretch it? How many? 4 times. 4 counts. So upper le. One more time. Okay, nu, very good. But you did one thing, you said lata. Apne lata para. Kyun? What you did, आपने क्या किया अंकल खुबैब? आपने लता को अलग किया नू से. तो ये लता, it should be like this. Latanu. Did you see the difference? One is latanu, one together. Yeah. One more time. Lata. Excellent. One more time. So one more exat, let's read it. Latanu. Remember 4 counts. One more time. Latanu. Very good, mashallah. So we've had हमने alif mad पढ़ लिया, वाव मद पढ़ लिया. What's the example in this one? Ya mad hai. Ya mad. So let's read it together. Exactly 4 counts. Muttasil mein it's always 4 counts. Agha sab, do you want to try inshallah? Good. Yudi. Good. One more time. Good. Exat. Yudi'u. One more time. Yudi'u. Very simple, okay? Very simple. Every time after harful mad, after alif mad or ya mad, if hamza comes, then we need to make it 4 counts long. This is muttasil. And a big clue, बहुत बड़ा clue in your Quran, the letter of mad will have a wavy line. उसके ऊपर एक लंबा mad भी लिखा जाएगा. If you look on your pages, look on the page. Can you see on the line? The ऊपर in the first, there's a long line. Can you see it?
Only mud.
Yeah, this line. It is a fara'i mad. This line tells you to make it long. Okay? So it's a very easy clue. Asli mein, in asli there will not be any squiggly line.
Small mud.
No. Asli mein mad.
No mud.
For example, look at qalina. There was just not only the waw mad, ya mad and alif mad, nothing else. But in muttasil we have the squiggly line, wavy line. This wavy line, muttasil, how many counts is it? 4. ठीक है? It's 4. And if you remember, why is it called muttasil? Because the mad and the hamza is in the together in the maddu. And now you look at the second type. If you look at the second type, what is called? Munfasil. Munfasil, what does munfasil mean? Urdu mein kya kaha jata hai? Munfasil is In Arabic, when you call a house muttasil, you know, it means terraced. Okay, and munfasil, you know, detached, you know, on its own, you know, it has both sides is separate. This is what you call munfasil in Arabic. A house which is munfasil, no other house is touching it. And a house which is touching, you call it one word, and munfasil means separate word, in two separate words. So what is munfasil? Very similar to muttasil, but the only difference is in the next word. Okay, not in the same word, in the next word. Then we have an ये कौन सा कायदा है? नून साकिन, उसके बाद क्या है? What's after the noon sakin here? कौन सा हर्फ? अंजलना में नून के बाद कौन सा हर्फ? जाल. Very simple, जाल. Okay, जाल. ये हलक के हरूफ है? नहीं. यरमलून के हरूफ है? We're gonna read it with gunna. Anzal. One word, है ना? Ma is the one word. Anzal. Next word. And alif. We have the hamza. So the two separate words. So it's munfasil. And because there's a hamza after the alif mad, how many counts, uncle? 2. 4. Munfasil is muttasil.
So it should be ma.
Yes. Ma anzalna. So one more time, ek saath. Ma anzalna. One more time. Ma anzalna. But in this word, anzalna, is there any other mad? Anzalna. और कोई मद है? ना. ना. ये कौन सा मद है? So what is it called? असली. असली. तो आप remember this, आप ये के छोटा मद कहा जाता है. छोटा मद को जब छोटा मद आप पढ़ेंगे उसको how many counts will this be? असली कौन सा count? कितने? 2. अंज़लना. Do you understand? Ma anzalna. Understand the difference? Excellent. So हम एक साथ पढ़ेंगे अभी.